Bianca Wooden, IBCLC. I am a lactation consultant, childbirth educator, and doula, and my business is Better Beginnings, located in South Mississippi. I had a client mention to me the CUB birth stool, I guess you could call it, and I had kind of forgotten about it. I remember there was some heavy advertising a while back and I thought about getting one, and then I forgot about it. So I am so glad that a client mentioned this and that I ordered it. So now I do have this available for rent. If you are not a birth client of mine, you can rent it from me and you'll have it for a while, so that whatever day you go into labor, you will have it available to you. And I have it myself as a tool when I go to birth. So I want to show you a little bit about it because I just think it's so great and I regret that I hadn't bought it sooner. Okay, so it'll come with 3 things. I'll just store it in a bag for you. So it folds up like this. You could decide if you want to blow it up ahead of time or at your actual birth. It's certainly easy enough to carry in and out of a hospital or a birth center location, so even when it's blown up. So having it blown up in advance is good. The other thing it comes with is this cover. It's a microfiber material, which a lot of people love. For me, I don't love the texture. So at the births that I was at, we used it without the cover, and that was perfectly fine. You can use the cover. Both are sanitized and cleaned between each person that uses it, so no problem there. So you'll get the cover, and then you'll get this little thing to blow it up. Of course, you could blow it up with the electric one if you wanted, but this is pretty easy. So I'm going to show you how to set it up, and then I'm going to show you some positions you could use it with. Okay, so you can see it's a U shape. And we have to put the cover on before we blow it up, because if you blow it up first, you're never going to get this cover on. So you kind of gotta figure out the U shape of this cover. So it has these 2 legs and then the opening at the bottom, and then we're just going to want to kind of match that up. So I got CUB over here facing up and CUB over here facing up, which tells me we're in the right direction. So on the bottom is just a big elastic area. So we're going to slide in one leg, like that, and then slide in the other leg. Like that. Just to kind of get the general shape. Put it in there. So now we have it on there with the opening in the back. Okay, so next thing we need to do is blow this guy up. And again, you do not have to use this cover. When you're in labor, you could put your own blanket over it, or you could just, sometimes you want that cool against your skin. I know plastic seems like you wouldn't, but in labor, you are hot, and sometimes that coolness might just feel good. So we'll just see what works. Okay, so we have there's 2 layers to the CUB. You can use it with both layers blowed up, or if you need it smaller, you can just deflate one. So we'll start with 2. Let me get a little closer to the camera and show this to you. So we have where you could open it up like this, but the air, and that's how you deflate it. The air will just go right out. But they were smart enough to give us another option for when we blow it up. We just pull this outside so that you have black there, and that prevents the air from coming out while you're pumping it up. So open up that one, and this air pump fits right in there. Now, I just did my hands like this. If you're sitting down on a chair, you can put your feet here. And it's blowing up pretty quickly. But I'll go ahead and stop the video, and then I'll come back to you when I have it ready to go. Okay, we are all done. It really only took me a few minutes to blow this up. So there's the air valve. This elastic just comes right over it, and we're set to go. Let me tell you what I love about the CUB and why I am so happy to have it at any births I attend in the future. It provides the movement of a birth ball that I'm so familiar with and so many people enjoy, and can do all those things, but it won't roll away. So you have a little bit more stability. I found that my clients felt a little more stable on there. And you know, maybe you think, well gosh, I would never fall off a birth ball. Well, in labor, you're moving a lot, standing, sitting, changing positions, and you just, the stability of knowing this is not going anywhere just adds a little element of comfort. That's what I have found. So the way that it's shaped, you can easily, I have my shorts on, so we're good to go. We're easily rock back and forth, side to side, which is really common in labor. You want to just keep that movement going. It's comforting, and of course it's helping the baby move into position. Or you could do hip circles. Very easy to do, just as easy as a ball. Also, with this position, the way it is with this opening, you certainly could scoot down here and give birth in this. There's plenty of room behind me, so I could have my partner behind me here, adding that stability. So between contractions, lean back and rest, and then even push here in a squatting position. Now, I did tell you there are 2 layers here. So if this is too tall for you, you can very easily let out the bottom layer, and you'll just come down to the height that you want it, which is great. Okay, next, almost every woman, laboring woman, wants to get in hands and knees. It just feels good. Your uterus is contracting and pulling forward. So when you lean forward, it just helps with the contractions. And we know if your body's telling you to get into a position, then go for it. That's the position you need to be in. Okay, so hands and knees, nice flat surface. So you can just lay right here. And again, easy to rock. Forward and backward. Very stable. One position that is sometimes helpful in labor is an open knee chest. So with this can allow you to have your knees open a little more. We'd want this lowered, but you could really lean forward on this. And it provides a good level of support that you absolutely could not do with the ball. Now, I'm not down on the ground on my chest, but I do have those open knees. If you lowered this a little bit, you could bring it down a little. So just ideas to think about. What else did we do when we were in labor? Of course, we sat on it, we did hands and knees. We used it as a footrest. So in labor, sometimes you want to get into those asymmetric positions where you have one foot up. And this certainly allows you to do that. So pretty stable. You probably would have a harder time doing that with a birth ball. So that's good. You could do both sides. Great position to be in. The other thing we used it for is just a footstool. I had a mom sitting on the edge of the bed with the back of the bed up high. Between contractions, she would lean on the side of the bed, and then during contraction, she would stand up. But while she was resting, even with her feet really low, with the bed really low, she didn't want her feet on the ground. She wanted something to bring them up. So sitting on the edge of the bed with her feet on this as a regular old footrest. So those are the things that come to the top of my head. Those are the things I've used in labor, and it worked out great. So I'm going to add some pictures at the end of the video here of women in labor, my client in labor using this, and how much she enjoyed it. So if you have any questions, shoot me a message. I am happy to answer your questions about it. That is the CUB birth stool. Thanks. Bye.